Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Root Yoga Therapy. I'm your certified yoga therapist, Jasmine Leventhal, and today in our postpartum recovery wellness class, we are going to focus on re-strengthening and reconnecting back to our pelvic floor. Now, this is a muscle that we feel could have weakened even during pregnancy or at delivery if you did a vaginal birth. The pressure of baby as we're carrying baby, especially through the last trimester, could place a lot of pressure down on our pelvic floor muscles. And then of course, pushing baby out really takes a lot out of that part of the body as well. So this will be some of my favorite yoga poses to help re-strengthen that part of the body. And we will definitely need a block for the practice. So go ahead, grab your props, hop into something comfy, and join me on your mat. Welcome back. So I want to start off just by gently waking up our pelvic floor. So let's start on our backs here. Slowly making your way down onto the mat. And hands are down by your side. So you already want to feel like a little bit of a lift, and we'll just do that by finding our breath. So on the inhalation, you feel the breath moving downward into the lower part of the belly. And on the exhalation, as you're pressing the breath out, I want you to feel that press and that lift from the pelvic floor. So inhale, belly gets large, belly fills up. Exhale, using strength from your abdomen, finding that lift of the pelvic floor. Good. 3 more. Inhaling. Exhale. Last 2. And last 1. And so just gently waking up that part of the body. Now we're going to start with some gentle abdominal work. We'll start by taking an inhale, start to float the toes, right toes off the mat. And exhale, lower them down. Inhale, left toes. Exhale, lower them down. Good. Inhaling. Exhale, kind of like you're marching. Inhale. And exhale, just getting some movement. Now we're going to switch the breath a little bit because we're going to do some more focused abdominal work. So it's just gently lift the leg up. Good. Take your inhale here and full exhale. Good. Inhale. Full exhale, finding that lift on the exhalation. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Lowering the right leg down, left leg lifts. Inhale. Full exhale. Inhale. Full exhale. Inhale. Full exhale. Good. So we're going to kind of put some of this together. And as the left foot taps, we're going to lift the right. And as the right foot taps down, we'll lift the left. So it'll look something like this. So join in when you're ready. Finding your breath. Feeling the abs start to fire up. Just gentle taps of the toes. Good. Last 2. And last 1. Good. And both feet down. Go ahead and grab your block. Place that block in between your upper inner thighs. Squeeze that block, and already you should feel some kind of lift through the pelvic floor and engagement through the inner hips or inner thighs. Good. We're going to have both feet lift together. Now, if you do this and you're like not at all ready for it, please go back to just keeping one leg down and lifting one leg and just alternating as we go through this next exercise. So I'll always start at the modification and work my way into something more intense. So please, if the modification works better for you, just stay there. There's no need to push yourself further than where you feel you're able at the moment. Good. So squeezing that block, taking an inhale. And this time on the exhale, we're going to lift. So inhaling here. Exhale, lift the legs. Lower on the in-breath. Exhale, lift. Good. Lower on the in-breath. Exhale, lift. So you're using that exhale to help you lift those toes. Inhaling. Exhale, lift. Good. 3 more. And 2. And last one. Good. Pause here. Reach the feet skyward. Might have to adjust your block if it's shifted. Reach the feet skyward. Squeeze the block. Little breaths here. 1. Pointing those toes skyward, almost like you're trying to lift your hips off the floor. Last 2. And last breath. Good. Rebend the knees carefully with strength, lowering those feet down, and release the block. Really nice. Widen your feet out as wide as your mat and knock those knees in. Take a moment here to relax some of those muscles. Really nice. Good. Release the knees, walk the feet back towards hips distance. Go ahead and grab your block again. Going to move into a gentle bridge pose. Now this time I want you to really squeeze the block with the inner thighs, and that's going to help find that lift through the pelvic floor as we move into our bridge. Hands firm down, feet firm down. Take an inhale, lifting the hips, squeeze the block. Exhale, lower down. Good. Squeeze the block. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, lower it down. Again, inhale, lifting the hips. Exhale, lower it down. Good. Now you're welcome to continue with that. Here's something stronger for those of you who are ready. Keep squeezing that block. We're going to go a one-leg bridge. So pressing down through the left foot, extend your right leg forward. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, lower it down. 2 more. Inhale, lift the hips and lower it down. Last one. Inhale, lift and lower. Good. Re-bend into the right knee. Plant the right foot down. Switch. Left leg forward. Taking an inhale. Press down through the right foot. Lift the hips. Exhale, lower. Last 2. Inhale, lift and lower. And last one. Inhale, lift and lower. Really nice. Re-bend into your left knee and release the block. You'll probably hate the block by the end of this session. Widen the feet out as wide as your mat. Knock those knees in. Take some nice full breaths here. Really nice. Roll to one side, gently pressing yourself up. And we're going to come all the way up to a stand. Go ahead and take the block. And we're going to place the block in between the inner thighs. Once again, that's going to be key throughout this whole practice, just because it really helps activate the adductors and turn on the pelvic floor muscles and give us a sensation down there. Otherwise, it's a little bit difficult to connect with. So I find that having a prop and something like really obvious brings our awareness there much more easily. than just trying to make that mental connection. So again, squeezing the block. We're just finding ourselves in mountain pose, grounding down through all four corners of the feet. Take an inhale or reach the arms skyward. Exhale, fold it forward. Keep squeezing the block. Don't let those thighs loosen up. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, fold. Good. Root through the feet. Squeeze the block as you rise. Find that strength. And hands to heart. Great. 2 more just like that. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, refold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Squeeze that block as you come up. Strong hips and legs. Arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Nice. Last one. Inhale, arms reach skyward. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, heart lengthens. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root, squeeze that block as you rise. And hands to heart center. Good. Moving into a chair pose. Keep the block right where it is. Take an inhale, bend your knees, release your hips back. Arms can stay forward, they can be on your hips, they can even be up by your ears. The higher you take the arms, the more intense it'll be on the shoulders, so please be where you are. You can even have hands at heart. This focus right here, focus for this pose today is going to be in the lower body. Squeeze that block. Weight should be in the heels, soft toes. If you look down, you should be able to see all 10 toes. Good. Root down, rise up, arms overhead. Hands to heart center. Nice. 2 more. Sit back, find that chair, squeeze the block. Any variation with the arms that I've mentioned. Root down, rise up. Hands to heart. Exhale. Inhale, squat down into that chair pose. Squeeze your block. Good. Press down, rise up. Big breath in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Really nice. Let's remove the block. Place it down by your mat. And take a nice big step wide. Coming into our warrior pose. Now these poses can be great because we're going to have to activate through the inner thighs. Now that we've brought a lot of awareness to this part of the body and warmed up quite a bit, let's rotate our toes outward towards the back of the mat. Rotate your right toes inward, so left toes are out, right toes are in. Bend deep into your front knee. Pausing here, hands can stay on the hips. Now for a moment, I just want you to feel as though your inner thighs are kind of drawing towards one another, but your feet are trying to rip your mat apart. So there's 2 actions happening. The thighs pulling towards one another and the feet pressing away from one another. And that'll create some tension through the inner leg to create that lift in the pelvic floor. Once you feel that, and maybe your hands just stay here and you just work on finding that. But if you have that, start to extend your arms wide. Press down through the heels of the feet. And that'll really, especially this front heel, if you push down and lift the toes, you'll feel muscles activate through the inner leg. Good. Flip your left palm. So if you haven't yet extended your arms, go ahead and extend them. Flip your left palm, reverse your warrior, get a nice side stretch. Keep that tension through the legs. And then as you exhale, come back to that warrior 2 position. Good. 2 more. Flip the palm, reverse your warrior. Exhale, come back to your warrior 2. Last one. Flip the palm, reverse on the inhale breath. Exhale, release. Good. Lowering the hands to the hips, straighten the left leg, rotate the toes, switch, right side. Again, press through that right heel, lift the right toes so you can find that activation to the inner leg. And that same action of bringing the thighs together and the feet ripping the mat apart. Once you find that, extend the arms wide. Good. Looking out over your middle finger on the right hand. Pausing here. Find that balance with your breath. Work the strength in the legs. And then let's flip the right palm, take an in-breath, reverse your warrior. Exhaling it back to warrior 2. Nice job. 2 more. Inhale, reverse. And exhale. Last one. Inhale, reverse. And exhale. Good. Bring the hands to the hips, soften that front knee, rotate the toes forward, and let's take a forward fold to kind of wring that out. So again, hands can be on blocks. Done this in a previous video. Or you can bring your forehead down on a block to give your head that nice support if you have that space to do so. And take one more breath here. And slowly coming all the way back up. Hands to hips and rise. Gently walk the feet together. We're going to make our way back on the mat and lay on our belly. So coming back onto the mat, coming into that hands and knees position, and then slowly bending the elbows, chest, chin, belly to the floor. Good. Forehead down on the mat. We're going to start with gentle cobras, but again, we're going to act as if we have that block. Now, if you actually want to take the block and physically place it in between the legs, I find that to be a good idea. So again, that helps bring the awareness there. When we have a physical object, we can really, and have something to actually squeeze, it really helps to engage the muscles. So hands are soft, down by your sides, fingertips by the ribs. Inhale, gently lift the heart, squeezing the block. So this is how active our legs actually should be in all of our cobra poses. Pressing down through the toes of the feet. Exhale, release. Good, 2 more. Inhale, lengthen, lift the chest. Exhale, release. And last one. Inhale, lengthen, lift the chest. And exhale, release. Good. Now again, we'll do one more. This time we're going to hold the pose. So inhale, lift the chest. Hold here, float the hands off the mat, squeeze the block, float the toes off the mat, reach the toes back so you're not bending your knees. You're reaching back, squeezing that block for 3, 2, and 1. Let it go. Good. Make a little pillow with the forearms and rest your head to one side. Another pose that we missed during our pregnancy, or at least I missed, as we could not be on our bellies like this. So we're going to keep the block where it is and move into a locust pose. So reaching your hands back. Now hands can stay just reaching back, or if you have the space to interlock the fingers, you can do that. You can grab a strap or a dish towel or anything you have to create some space through the front of the chest. Again, pushing down through those feet. Take an inhale, lift and lower. 2 more. Inhale, press through the feet, lift, squeeze the block, and lower. Last time. Inhale, lift, and lower. Good. We're going to come up again, floating the feet off the floor. Inhale, lift the chest, reach those toes back, float the feet, squeeze the block. Use that back strength, that leg strength. Excellent. Carefully lower on down. Create that little pillow with the forearms and release your head to the opposite side. And very gently bring your hands down by your side. Keep the block where it is. Press all the way up into a hands and knees position. Once you get here, if you need to make adjustments, maybe pushing the block higher up, you can do so. Good. Take a full in-breath, cat-cow. Drop the belly, lift the heart on the inhale. Exhale, cat your back as you round into your spine. Good. Squeeze the block. So very active cat-cow through the legs. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, round. And again, inhale. And exhale. Good. Pause here. Slide your knees back come into a plank on the knees position. Squeeze the block, hug the navel in towards the spine, and holding here for 5. Try not to sag in your lower back. Keep that belly lifted for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shift it back, child's pose. You can remove the block. Good. Come back into your all fours position. Again, you can choose to do that plank on the knees. Otherwise, you're going to tuck the toes and come into a full plank position. Keep the block in between the thighs. So again, you're going to either shift forward for that plank on the knees, holding here. Otherwise, you're curling toes under, pressing knees off the mat. Squeeze that block, hug the navel in towards the spine for 5, 4, chest forward for 3, gaze forward for 2, and 1. Instead of child's pose, hike those hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good. 5 full breaths in your dog. Create that space around your neck and shoulders. Root down into your hands. Start to get those heels heavy towards the mat and keep activating through the legs. Squeeze the block. Taking one last inhale here. And as you exhale, releasing the knees down towards the mat. Take the block out from in between the legs and come into a seat. Really nice work. That work is really tough with the block, but it's also a really great way to start retraining and reminding your body how active the legs need to be in many of the poses that we do. Good. So coming into just a gentle cross-leg position, extending your left arm outward, taking an inhale, reaching the right arm up and over. Taking a full breath in. And exhale, coming to center. Good. And left arm goes up and over. Taking a full breath in. And coming back to center. Good. Sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, right arm skyward. And as you exhale, we're going to find a nice twist here. So either hand can come to the knee, maybe outer thigh, and left arm moves back behind you. And since we have no baby in our belly anymore, we can go into some pretty deep twists safely. So hands is going to be like a little bit of a lever to help you find a little more rotation through your spine. And if you want, you can even start to shift your gaze towards that front shoulder. And one more inhale. And exhale, coming back to center. And switch. Inhale, right arm up. I'm like ready to go right into the twist because it feels so good. And find that length before you twist. It's always important. And then using that left hand as a lever to find more space through your chest, more rotation through your spine. Good. One more inhale. And as you exhale, come back to center. Really nice. Just some gentle hip circles forward, leftward, backward, rightward. Good. After your third round, just switch the direction. Really nice. Stretch your legs forward. Now again, hands can land anywhere, toes, shins, knees, thighs, it doesn't matter. I just want to keep that back nice and long. Inhale, reach the arms skyward. Exhale, fold forward. Now remember, chest towards toes. We worked on this a lot during pregnancy, and of course, as the belly got bigger, we had to make our modifications. So go as comfortably or go as far as you comfortably can in this position. Keeping the toes flexed, keeping that stretch through the backs of the legs into the lower back. Try not to bring the shoulders towards the ears. Keep it nice and soft around the neck so we keep lots of space and movement there. Last 3 breaths. I personally like to focus my breath into the lower back area for this. Nice work. Slowly come on up. And then go ahead and grab a block once again. Lengthwise on your mat, you're going to slowly make your way down. Take the block, supported bridge pose. I like it on the second height here personally, but you can do any height that's most comfortable and most supportive for you. You want the block to land right at the base of your hips or at your tailbone, so you don't feel like you're placing, it's not on your lower back, so there's no excessive arch, and it's not like on your butt or your thighs. So it's in a really nice supportive spot where you can feel your hips just melting around the block. Now you're welcome to stay here. If you prefer to go into a supported shoulder stand, you'll take one leg and then the other up at a time. So both legs are pointed, or feet are pointed skyward. And I find this to be such a healing pose. And carefully, if the legs are lifted, bend the knees and allow one leg to come down, followed by the other, so you're back in your supported bridge. For those of you who never left supported bridge, take another breath and then gently press through the feet, lift the hips, slide the block out from under you. Carefully lower your body down and hug the knees in towards the chest. Give them a nice squeeze. Let's take a butterfly pose. Release the knees out sideways and either grabbing the ankles or maybe the outsides of the feet. Be mindful that the lower back's not rolling away from the mat, but rather pressing down into the mat, keeping the shoulders soft. Last full breath. And as you exhale, slowly bringing the legs together, releasing the feet, and extend the legs forward. Good. Point the toes, take an inhale, reach the arms up and back, interlace the hands, flip the palms back behind you. Nice full body stretch. Big breath in through the nose and open mouth, exhale. Release the arms down by your side. Now again, you're always welcome to take Shavasana for these last few minutes together. I always recommend it. However, if you don't have the time right now, please carefully roll to one side and come into a seat. Letting go of any control around your breath and just allowing yourself to be as comfortable and as relaxed as possible. Again, you're welcome to stay here for as long as you like. For those closing off, roll to one side, gently come to a seat, and bring your hands to your heart. Thank you so much for joining me again on this postpartum wellness and recovery journey. I hope you enjoyed this practice and it gave you a little more nourishment so you can continue to thrive. Till next time, namaste.